Welcome to the agenda with me, LASHA Kingsley in Yaoundé, Cameroon. We continue with our series on the role of the elites of the Northwest and Southwest regions in the peace-building process of the war-stricken regions. And on today's edition of the program, we are receiving Honorable Enwe Francis, who has been doing a lot in ensuring that peace return to the two English-speaking regions of the country. Stay with us. I'll be right back after this. And Honorable, we're talking about the rules of elites in bringing this crisis, and you said elites to go back to their regions or to their regions and their communities and talk to the boys. But I was wondering, we still have the Fonds of Northwest, who is in captivity. He went back home to launch the annual cultural festival and to also talk to boys, talk peace to the boys. But unfortunately, he was taken away. So how should the elites do this without being taken away?
Well, when we talk of elite, we know there are some who are for the crisis, even if they're out of the place, because when you hear their discussions, they put all the blames on government. Government should go and fix these problems. This is our problem. It's on our at our backyard. We must be the first people to start initiatives of bringing peace. And there is a way to talk to them. It's unfortunate what happened to the president of the House of Chiefs for Northwest. It's really, really unfortunate because he was going there with confidence. I'm surely maybe he has spoken to them before going or what, I don't know. But if you see any child still very hard on this issue now, the reason is no more fighting for independence, many of them as we see. They are just creating situations to remain there and make their money from kidnappings and other issues. But now, government has to take them as such. The community has to take them as such. Coming to us, the elite, we should continue talking. I talk with those in my area. 2-3 days ago, I was talking to one of them. And we discussed lengthily. He was answering to me, yes, daddy, yes, daddy, yes, daddy. And I think he's understanding. And we gradually came to an agreement on certain steps to do a few things for them to live. Not money, because I told them I would never give you a franc. I can help you come out of that thing. You get a small job for yourself somewhere, and you start your life, you get married, and your future continues. But the problem, you know, the root cause of the problem is not at our level to be talking about that. It's not me, the elite. What I want is peace. There are other things that should be discussed at certain levels.
But can peace really go without justice?
Well, when we talk of justice now, it's true. They say there must be justice before peace. But everybody interprets that in his own way. And if you want to preach the justice, who should provide the justice? Now, both sides should behave. Because maybe the military does this and this one is angry, the Amba does this to this is angry. I'm angry with the Amba because they burnt my house. I'm angry.
Another person might be angry with the military, probably.
Because he burned his own house. Or somebody may be angry because maybe the military shot a relation, the Amba killed a relation. So all of that, we should keep aside the blame game. And only advise that at all levels, let there be some discussions to end this problem.
But there must be a starting point, and so many initiatives have been put forth, like the Toronto retreat, the Swiss talks, and apparently those initiatives have not received or have not been received by both the government or the AMBA.
Listen, when you look at, from the beginning, the teachers and lawyers crisis, you saw the efforts government made. We were all involved in that. I remember we had a meeting with lawyers in this hotel for about 8 hours to come out with a write-up which was submitted. And all what the head of state granted to the lawyers was what we discussed here. That was what parliamentarians did. Next thing, that of the economy, the Anglophone section in the higher school of magistracy was granted.
So many other concessions.
So many other concessions. The Grand National Dialogue came. where I actually led a delegation to South Africa and Nigeria, and came home with many guys who had to attend the national dialogue. They were all here, and they aired out what was worrying them. We came out with resolutions of the national dialogue. Government started implementing them. We are proud now with the regional councils and that of our special status. Though people will complain the special status, they have not seen anything. It's a baby that is still creeping, and will definitely stand and walk and continue to, to grow. So people should not start assessing it from the first year and say it's not doing anything. It takes time for these things to pick up.
Many have referred to those solutions you are talking about as cosmetic. And that if the solutions were really the solutions to address the root causes of the problem, the tensions that keep mounting every day would have been reduced by now.
Yes. If government has gone this level, you two who were extreme the other way, come a bit. Let's meet in the middle and start talking. You can't still keep saying cessation from 2017 till today. And you stand on one.
Those guys who
you refuse, government does this, you refuse, government does that, you refuse. It's wrong.
And those guys who they are saying that government says decentralization. Why can government too not change its mind on the issue of decentralization?
What has government not done? I think decentralization. We voted the bill on decentralization. They are gradually implementing it. People, look, this is a country, it's not a village. And managing a country, people take the mindset that they have managing a village to say we impose it in the country. Certain decisions are difficult to arrive at because you take into consideration the whole country. Everybody wanted decentralization. They have granted. And they had to give us this special aspect of special status in the Northwest and Southwest, which, yes, many still complain is not going quite well. We know there are some mistakes here and there. But to me, I believe it's a process. It is gradually changing. Next year, it will not be the same. What we are condemning today will be adjusted before next year. And as such, before their 5-year mandate is over, I think they would have gone to a certain extent. So, we should not only criticize without bringing forth solutions. It's not normal that government has left this stage. You can know what is government. Accept this, come to this for you to accept. You still stand on one point that you are not shaking. It's not normal. Make a move and let's see. You talk of the Toronto come together, retreat. Yeah, that was a retreat. There are many initiatives. I was also one of those who created the Northwest-Southwest Peace Movement on Cessation of Violence. We had many meetings. We've been to the field, the Northwest and Southwest. We did many things. On radios, left and right, all is preaching peace. And now, while we are working on peace, others should be working on another aspect. The government should be doing some other things while we on the ground are doing peace. Because it needs the contribution of everybody, even in the man in the street, the woman in the market. Everybody needs to participate. You, the journalists, have to concentrate now on messages that will only bring peace, will only talk peace to our people. But we know there are some people that their hearts are already hardened. They don't want to hear anything. They want the war to continue because they know what they're benefiting from the war.
And apparently the international community has abandoned Cameroon. Most of the countries that are hosting those that are sponsoring the war in the Northwest and Southwest, they are running to Cameroon to come and assist refugees instead of probably handing over those that are sponsoring the war to the Cameroonian government.
Well, that is diplomacy, and I don't want to go more into that, what the international community is supposed to do. You know, they can advise, and they have been advising. You know, sometimes they tell people to put down their guns, the guns, though they don't respect. They will say this, they don't respect.
Is it only the respect of sovereignty that many Cameroonians think that Cameroon has been abandoned?
But you should know Cameroon is a sovereign country. And even if any other country, our partners, want to say anything, they only advise. And they know how to pass that through. Not on social media as we see people, America has said this, Germany has said that. No. They have things that they do on the ground, which we can't be discussing that here. That is for that level. And they are not sleeping. They are also seeing. But remember, Cameroon is a sovereign country. Our partners can only advise, please, government, handle it this way. Government, handle it this way. And everybody's talking about to government. Because you know that's the boss, that's the authority. To the secessionists, the fighters in the bush, in the bushes, what are they also telling them? You go there, they are kidnapping people, collecting ransoms. Huge amount of monies. They are killing people. They are also burning houses, putting bombs, explosives left and right. Innocent people are dying. Nobody is talking about that. People see and make as if they don't see. Like I say, it's not time again to put the blame game, but the time is to talk sense into some of this that don't reason again. You know, these guys take drugs, and these drugs are very harmful to the brain and your way of reasoning. So we need to also look for a way to see how we stop the influx of such drugs into the country. But it's also difficult because our borders are porous, and people carry those things in containers of different medication, but there are other drugs inside those containers. So a lot of business is going through that.
So you are saying that it is a collective responsibility of all Cameroonians, be it from the northwest or southwest region or the other 8 regions of the country?
Everybody should be involved. All the other 8 regions should be involved. We also have crisis in the north, in the northern regions, in the extreme north with the Boko Haram. It's a serious affair. Remember, all of us one time contributed money to support the people affected by Boko Haram over there. And when the head of state even started an initiative to get some support, humanitarian assistance for those of us in the northwest and southwest, the rest of the country also contributed money to help us. But it seems that did not create any good impact because the crisis only continued. One thing we also noticed with the elite is who is talking for the elite. Because now I'm talking my own, B is talking his own, everybody is talking his own, and sometimes we don't bring together all the ideas. As such, you hear the Honorable Enwe has said that, Professor Dara said that. That is where we have a problem. If there should be one mouthpiece, even from government, because sometimes you hear the Prime Minister go out and talk and do things, then you hear other ministers saying other things on the same issue, which actually are contradicting. That is where there's a problem. I believe that as government, only one person should make a statement and talk about the crisis. Whatever comes out of his mouth, we accept that as government.
The problem now, the question of mandate. Who has mandated you? That's the question many will start asking, like you're speaking now. Exactly. Don't be surprised some people will be asking, who has mandated Enwe Francis to speak?
They always ask who has mandated him, because I'm always on the media, and maybe those are where I carry a lot of my problems. But we must talk. We can't all just stay quiet when our backyard is burning. Where people are dying, blood is flowing every day. And we stay quiet and say, who should talk? Who should mandate? Somebody should talk. Like the secessionists, who mandated them to go and stand and start asking for our liberation? Did we tell them we were in chains? So everybody is just doing things in his own haphazard way. But I do believe that it's time for all the elites to come up together. Because as at now, I've not seen any structure where we, the top elite, have come together to talk about the crisis.
I'm talking about the crisis, denouncing or trying to call government to attention, or call the separatists.
Once we meet there and start talking about it, we'll know where to...
Cardinal Ntumi tried and failed.
I will not say he failed, because he opened the eyes of many people. And many people started reasoning like him. So that is the way the message goes down. And as people started reasoning like him, some of the secessionists started reasoning like him. You saw that he removed many of them from the bushes, which is a good idea. But now, we as elite to decide either at the level of our divisions to meet and talk what we can do in our division. Because I can manage the situation in my village more than you. You can manage in your village more than I can do. Let everybody talk to their guys. If we're afraid to go down and afraid of being kidnapped, start talking. Talking like that can solve many problems. And there's also an approach, the way you talk to them. You don't go to punch to... There is a way to talk, and they will easily understand. Cajole them. They are children, many of them never went to school. They are taking drugs. So you need to talk to someone as if you are counseling the person. Once you prepare them like that, I bet you they will understand, and they will tell you something that you can do that will solve the problem.
Honorable Enwe Francis, we are gradually coming to the end of this interview. I want you to, your message this day to those who are in the bushes, what are you telling them? because they still remain Cameroonians, whether we like it or not. They are still Cameroonians, though they have taken up arms against the country. And also, what is your message to the government officials or the people who are within the corridors of power, who have the moral obligation or authority to bring this madness, what many people call madness, to an end?
Well, the only thing I'll tell the boys in the bushes is listen to the call from the head of state. He long and in many speeches has declared that you have no problem if you put down your arms and come out. You'll be protected. Many have done that. They have been protected. They have seen over these years. Many are still coming out. Those of you that are there, what are you deciding for your future? Do you prefer to remain in the bush forever? Don't you think that you can come out, start a normal life, get married, have children that tomorrow become leaders of this country? Please, I'm appealing to you that violence has never solved a solution. As our junior brothers, come out. Think well. Reason. Examine yourself, not somebody telling you to go out or not. Think within yourself that what you are doing, is it normal? And if you feel somewhere that is not normal, I pray that God will touch your heart to come out, to surrender. This crisis, this problem will be solved gradually. Everybody knows the problem, and the leadership will gradually be looking into it gradually and so on. So please, don't stay in the bush and come out dead. That is the only appeal I'm giving you. It's a Christmas period. Why not surrender this thing and spend Christmas with your families? Come back home. There is a way to come back. Go to your nearest pastor. Go to your nearest DO. Go to your nearest commandant and the nearest police post in your place. Once you go freely and talk with them like that, I don't think they will not do you anything. And if you feel that you need the assistance of some of your elite, call us. You know the numbers of the elites of your area. Call them and tell them you want to come out. They will know how to arrange everything for you to come out. The main problem will not be solved by me and you. The authorities shall know what to do. For government has been doing quite a lot. And I still feel that more should be done because they've done a lot and the crisis is still there. So we should continue reflecting on ways to see how we can harness this, to see how we can make peace to return in the Northwest and the Southwest. But not forgetting, there are some who have decided to be criminals and only force may pull them down. They will not come out, they will not surrender because they have seen that as a business. And I think government has all it takes to handle such situations. We have not much to say.
Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you, it's my pleasure. I don't know what I've said is okay, but I think that's what came out of me for today. And I do believe that Cameroonians to start reasoning. We, the elite of Northwest and Southwest, we have all suffered. Nobody should pretend that it's fine. You cannot go back to your own villages, so you are not okay. Do all you can do at your level, development associations, village associations, and every aspect that you can do to talk to your own brothers for peace to come back in our two regions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.